Onto this now, convicted rapist and murderer Thabo Bester is back in court this week. Bester and those who allegedly helped him escape are expected to make appearances. Police have stated that more arrests are expected in relation to his escape. Senior reporter Slindelo Masikane has been covering this story since it broke and joins us now for the very latest. A very good afternoon to you, Slee. Now, 12 people in the dock at the moment. Currently, who are there?
Yeah, well, we've got 12 people who are expected back in the Bloemfontein Magistrates Court on Tuesday. And you would remember that all of these arrests took place from about April earlier this year. And you would also remember that of the 12, more than half of those arrested have now officially been released on bail. If I just take you through that list of those who have been arrested, we have Sunohe Matswara. He's a former G4S supervisor. And of course, he's accused of recruiting the role players in this escape saga. He's also alleged to have received large amounts of money from Thabo Bester in order to play those who have allegedly played a role in his escape. We also have Dr. Nandipa's father, of course, that is Zolile Segeleni. He's also one of those who's out on bail. He's actually the first one who was released on bail, and he is accused of being one of the masterminds of the escape. We have CCTV technician, that is Tebogo Depulu. He allegedly switched off the cameras, and he's accused of walking Bester out of prison dressed in a G4S employee uniform. And of course, accused number 4, that is Dr. Nandi Pamakutumana, who of course we know is a young and successful aesthetics doctor who's alleged to also be in a relationship with Thabo Bester. She, interestingly enough, has not applied for bail at this stage and is instead taking her fight for freedom to the higher courts, where she alleges, of course, that she was abducted from Tanzania, and she wants the legal proceedings against her set aside. Accused number 5, of course, he doesn't need any introductions. That is the man himself, Thabo Bester, who at this stage is being held at the Kgosi Mampuru prison and continuing his life sentence, and of course facing fresh charges for his escape. We also have former G4S security guard Mutenyana Masugela. He's accused of opening the gates on the night of the escape, as well as allowing the corpse that was going to be a decoy to be planted in Thabo Bester's cell. We also have Diego Makotsa as well as Nastasia Janssen. They are former control room operators, and they, of course, are also alleged to have opened the gates. We also have accused number 9, that is Zanda Moyo. He's a Zimbabwean national. He was arrested in Johannesburg, and he seems to have quite close ties with Thabo Bester and Dr. Nandipa. At some point, he is alleged to have been their driver and may know a little bit more about the fraudulent deals that Thabo Bester as well as Dr. Nandipa are alleged to have, who are alleged to have done. We then, of course, have suspended G4S employees. These are the latest arrests in this matter. That is Tabang Mir, Joel Maketa, as well as Moiketi Ramudula. They are suspended G4S employees at this stage. 2 of them, that is Maketa as well as Mir, applied for bail and were released on 10,000 Rand bail. Ramudula as well as Moyo did abandon their bail applications. So I think it's going to be quite interesting to see whether or not there are going to be any more fresh applications come Tuesday when the 12 return to court.
Apart from those fresh applications, if any, Slee, what else can we expect to go down on Tuesday when those proceedings take place?
Honestly, Rafiwa, not much. What we are expecting and what we have, in terms of information gotten from the NPA was the possibility of yet another postponement, perhaps a lengthy one at that, as well as further investigations into the matter. At this point, like you had said, is that the police have not ruled out the possibility of more arrests. But we also know that the proceedings that Dr. Nandipa has launched in the higher court may delay this matter from actually getting to a trial stage, because until she, of course, finalizes the issues around whether she was abducted, whether the legal proceedings against her should be set aside, then that will delay what we see unfolding in the magistrate's court. And at this stage, her legal team had indicated that they were reserving her right to apply for bail. But of course, we know that the possibility of her being granted bail is very slim, given the fact that, of course, she had to be, in essence, fetched from a different country after, allegedly escaping or skipping the borders with Thabo Bester. So at this point, we're not expecting much to be taking place on Tuesday. But of course, with court proceedings, anything is possible.
Anything is possible indeed, Slee. And of course, everybody's wondering, will Thabo Bester be physically in court, or will we see him virtually sporting some of those big, amazing, expensive name brand sweaters that he's been over the last 2 appearances he's made?
Well, I think that remains to be seen at this stage. All we can say is that we are expecting him to physically be in court. We have not heard whether or not there has been any application by correctional services to have him appear virtually, given that in the past 2 appearances of the main matter, which is all 12 of the accused being in court, we have seen him appearing virtually. And of course, that is due to the safety and security concerns around transporting Bester from Pretoria to Bloemfontein for what is expected to be quite a brief proceeding. So chances are we may see an application to have him appear virtually, but his lawyer had insisted that he come to court physically, because it is difficult to consult during court proceedings when your client isn't physically inside the courtroom. And the concerns that were raised by his lawyer the previous occasion was that Bester's rights are being infringed upon if he is not allowed to be in court during these court proceedings, to be able to give instructions if the need arises during court proceedings. So I think that is also something we'll be looking out for. But at this stage, we are expecting him to physically be in the courtroom.
I suppose we'll see on Tuesday, and of course you will be there, senior reporter Slindelo Masikane, covering those proceedings as they unfold, bringing us the very latest as that particular process continues or gets underway on Tuesday. That is senior reporter Slindelo Masikane joining us this afternoon, giving us an update on the Thabo Bester case, but also on the court proceedings that we are anticipating in the coming week.